Jets Ward.
GTS Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I'm your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you, but first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I love having you guys here. It is a great place to be because you guys keep coming back for more. And if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're a Jets fan of another NFL team, or just the casual NFL fan, you are always welcome here. It is a safe space for you. So, guys, like I like to do on here, I like to go over stuff that really intrigues me when in the NFL. Big moves that get made, especially when we're talking about the New York Jets. And the offseason has been so exciting so far. A lot of trades for the New York Jets, a lot of moves have been going on with the New York Jets, but other teams are making big splashes as well. And yesterday, the Miami Dolphins and Broncos made a massive trade. So the Miami Dolphins, as we know, their big free agent this offseason has been Malik Willis. New quarterback. They're giving a good amount of money, bringing him in to be the starter of the team. And they've also brought in some wide receiver help. Tutu Atwell, they've brought in. Malik Washington's still there. He's looking like he can be somebody for them. But they've been not doing the big moves. If anything, they've been getting rid of a lot of players. And yesterday, they traded young wide receiver Jaylen Waddle to the Denver Broncos. So Jaylen Waddle, a little bit about him. He's 27 years old. He's 5'10", 185 pounds. Played in 16 games last year. He's caught 64 passes out of 100 targets for 910 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's always been an electric receiver, but the problem with Jaylen Waddle has been injuries throughout his career. When he's healthy and he's on, the kid is fire. He's really quick, has solid hands, great route runner, and can be used on the outside in the slot. I think he's more effective in the slot. So the Broncos are getting Jaylen Waddle and a 2026 fourth round pick. And they gave up. The Miami Dolphins are getting a first round pick this year, pick 30. They're getting a third round pick this year and a fourth round pick this year as well. So the Dolphins and Broncos make this big trade. The Broncos offense is getting better because, yes, they are loaded at the wide receiver position right now. That offense is looking solid for Peyton and Bo Nix, especially if Bo Nix comes back healthy. Their wide receiver core is loaded with Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant, you got Jaylen Waddle, you got Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims Jr., your tight ends as well are very good too. And your running backs, RJ Harvey, you have all of these young kids in there and solid vets. But the Dolphins also made out good too, because they are loaded now. They have 2 first round picks. So they can go up and get another wide receiver. This is a solid draft to get young wide receiver talent, especially in the later rounds or early second rounds, and even later in the draft. The Dolphins have a lot of needs, and they're going into this as a total rebuild. They got rid of Tua. Tyreek is gone. Bradley Chubb is gone. James Daniels is gone. They got rid of all of their players, and now Jaylen Waddle being one of the biggest ones as well. And don't be shocked if Devon Achane is the next one. There's rumors that he could possibly get traded too. So the Dolphins are doing this total teardown, but they're getting solid draft capital back to try to build this team up under new coach Jeff Hafley and GM O'Sullivan. So they have a lot of needs, but I think this was a good move. They're rebuilding. Jaylen Waddle goes to a team that gives him a chance to actually win a Super Bowl and puts him in a great spot with Denver, where I think they'll be able to utilize him really, really well. But like I said, he's part of a loaded wide receiver room. They have tons and tons of talent over there. So if I'm Darren Muji and the New York Jets, I'm looking at that team right now. Darren Muji came from the Broncos. He has a good relationship with them over there. I'm looking at that team. What do we need over here? Well, we need a wide receiver 2. We need a wide receiver 4. But I'm looking at a couple of these players that could come in and fit those needs, especially at wide receiver 2. So let's talk a little bit about this. Jaylen Waddle being there now opens up the possibility of maybe Denver trading one of their receivers away. So let's talk about it. The first one that we could talk about is a guy who really hasn't shown much except on special teams, and that's Marvin Mims Jr. He's a talented young player. He's only 23 years old. He's 5'11", 182 pounds. Played in 15 games last year, had 37 catches out of 51 targets, 322 yards, and 1 touchdown. He's a gadget type of player. He's really known for more of the special teams. He brings an electric special teams unit to our return game to any team that he's playing on. He's a solid young receiver, willing to learn. I think there's a ton of upside there, but I could definitely see him as what we had John Mechie doing last year. Coming in, being our wide receiver 4, being in the slot, can bounce out in the outside a little bit if we need to. Fast guy, more of a special teams player. So Marvin Mims Jr. would be a fun one, especially with the upside for him. 23 years old, there's a lot of talent there. But I see him more as a wide receiver 4. I don't think it would cost too much to get him either. But now I'm looking at 2 other guys that could definitely be on sale. And the one I want to talk about first is Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin is a very, very interesting prospect here because he's still young. He's only 23 years old. He's a bigger receiver, 6'3", 180 pounds, solid speed, solid hands, was really doing well last year when he was getting his targets. He had some massive games for the Denver Broncos and was looking like he was breaking out of his shell. So he played in all 17 games last year, had 65 catches out of 104 targets, 709 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns. This kid can be good. Darren Muji got to see a little bit of him when he was over there. Honestly, Troy Franklin could be a very interesting piece, and I could definitely see him being a wide receiver 2, which would be fun because it brings a different element to this team. It brings more speed and physicality because he is a physical receiver. He's a tough kid, wants to get out there, puts his head down and goes and plays, is a willing blocker as well, and just brings more shiftiness to this offense. And I think you can play him in the slot. You can play him on the outside. You can use him as a chess piece on this offense and could be a great complement to A.D. Mitchell and Garrett Wilson. So he's a very fun one that I am looking at, who's somebody I would definitely want to go after, who I would keep an eye on. I think Mooj is definitely on the phone. We are active at trying to get another receiver in here. Troy Franklin, being only 23, would be a fun one, and I think could turn out to be a solid wide receiver 2 for the New York Jets. But there's one more that could be on the market. And this is somebody Jets fans have been talking about for years now. And he brings in veteran leadership. He's a damn good wide receiver as well. In their room, he's a vocal leader, somebody who puts everything he's got in and is willing to help out any teammate too. I'm talking about Courtland Sutton. Sutton's a little bit older. He's 30 years old, but he's 6'4", 216 pounds, that bigger-bodied receiver that the Jets are lacking at this point, and Frank Reich really likes in his lineup. Complements Garrett Wilson perfectly. Played in all 17 games last year, had 74 catches out of 124 targets for 1,017 yards, 7 touchdowns, still getting it done, playing at a high level at this age. Doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon either. Injuries have been a concern in his career, but the past couple of years, he's been looking like he's been able to stay healthy. I think he could come in, bring some great leadership, and help out Garrett Wilson as well as one of the leaders, and bringing in some more protection for Garrett Wilson too. Because Courtland Sutton comes in, he's your 1B as a receiver. He comes in and is great for any young quarterback and great for any quarterback throwing him the ball. Very supportive, does not fight, does not argue with his quarterbacks, is not a locker room issue. If anything, he is a culture changer and somebody who Jets fans have been clamoring for years at this point. And the Jets have some financial flexibility where they'd be able to take on his cap hit if they needed to. I don't think he costs too much as well. The Jets have a plethora of day 3 picks too. So we could use one of our 4th round picks and 5th round pick to go and get him. Maybe it'll cost a little bit more, but the Jets have the draft capability in both this draft and next draft to go and get Courtland Sutton. Now, if I'm looking at this, who would I want? Courtland Sutton is so hard to pass up because of what he brings to your team. He doesn't have to have it all put on him with Garrett Wilson coming back, and you have Mason Taylor who's looking to take that next step forward too. And you have A.D. Mitchell there. So you have 3 solid options, and Breece Hall coming back on the franchise tag, who they're looking to extend to after the draft. With Courtland Sutton, and even Troy Franklin too, this opens up a lot of different things for the New York Jets. Because if you trade for Courtland Sutton or even Troy Franklin, then let's say you get your Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles or somebody, a solid defensive player like that at pick 2. Let's say Carnell Tate's gone. Love's gone. You got Lemon gone. Jordan Tyson's on the board. But you have a player like Kenyon Sadiq there too. One of the best tight end prospects coming out in a while. Somebody who's a fantastic blocker, fantastic weapon as a receiver too. Can play as a regular tight end, can play as a big slot receiver. Matchup nightmare. Imagine putting an offense out there with Geno Smith as your quarterback, Breece Hall as your running back, Garrett Wilson as wide receiver 1, Courtland Sutton as wide receiver 2, Kenyon Sadiq and Mason Taylor out there. Or even if you don't have Mason Taylor out there, you have Kenyon Sadiq and A.D. Mitchell out there. That's an electric wide receiver room or weapons room right there for you. And your offensive line is set too. You have Olu Fashanu at left tackle, Dylan Parham, left guard, Myers at center, Tittman at right guard, Membao at right tackle. You have an offense that can put up points and could threaten other defenses. People would have to take into account the Jets offense. And Courtland Sutton and Troy Franklin could be those pieces. If I'm Muji, I'm getting on the phone with the Broncos and trying to make this deal happen for one of these guys. In my opinion, if I'm Muji and seeing what he's done, I'm thinking he'd want to go for the younger guy in Troy Franklin for the upside to help the future. But Courtland Sutton is such a hard pass on here. So Courtland Sutton and Troy Franklin for me would be the great options for the New York Jets. But let me know what you guys think. Would you want one of these receivers from the Broncos? Do you think they're even going to be willing to trade one now that they got Jaylen Waddle? Dolphins fans, if you're in the chat, how do you feel about trading Jaylen Waddle? Are you upset? Are you happy? What do you think? Broncos fans, how are you feeling as well? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys on this topic. Also, before we go as well, just know that on my YouTube channel, we are doing memberships now. If you would like to be a member of the Jets Ward community or a member of the Jets Ward YouTube channel, we have 2 different tiers. We have a tier 1, which is $5.99 a month. We also have a tier 2, which is $9.99 a month. You get different perks. Anytime I do a live stream, I could make it for members only, things like that. You're going to get extra perks as time goes on. It's really fun. It's exciting. It helps out the channel a lot as well. So if you want to become a member of the Jets Ward content today, go to my YouTube page and sign up to be a member for tier 1 or tier 2. You'll get awesome badges as well and animated emojis that we're working on creating. But again, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for any notifications as well, just so you stay updated on what's going on in the Jets Ward. And lastly, follow me on X, Instagram, and on TikTok as well. I try to post all my videos there too, so you see me on other platforms. But again, guys, as you know, I love you all. I appreciate you all. And thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
The Jets Ward.